I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators.
And so you guys wish this was a gameplay footage of me playing the game that we are going to be discussing today about, right? I wish that as well. And we are going to be talking about a certain Roblox game that I've been beginning to playing a lot recently, and it's called Your Bizarre Adventure. And yes, the game that I already completed is shortly written storyline, and it sounds like it came out straight from a Jojo fan-made parody. And so anyways guys, we are going to be talking about the game in general and its community in a nutshell due to the fact that it has so much people playing it. So just before we can get into today's video, a major 82% of you guys that are watching this video aren't subscribed yet. And so if you are new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button with the notification bells turned on so you won't miss an episode from me. And now, let's dive into today's video. And now beginning with the video. So now how did I discover this game? Back then, when I heard more info about Jojo for some time and I thought it was bad, but in reality, when I saw the show, it's actually pretty good, and I wish to see the full episodes and seasons from this show, but sadly it's a paid show, and one of the animes I like and approve other than the ones like One Punch Man and Hellsing. I saw the fights and damn, it also has a godly written storyline too. My favorite characters I saw from the parts of the show are Dio Brando and Jotaro so far, and forgot to mention before, I remember seeing a lot of memes of it and I was like, what the fuck is this actual shit? Like all the Minansing memes, it was me, Dio, Muda punches and other shit. When I tried to look deeper into the Jojo fan base, I saw too much shit like these repetitive Roblox Jojo beat up games that literally make no sense at all, and those kids call it ranting. Like a stupid Jojo beating up game where you try to trash another player is not going to help you win an argument or an excuse and opinion, like come on. They got no fully developed brains on that one. So it's obvious those guys are just 8-year-old kids. So anyways guys, back to the topic of today's video, Your Bizarre Adventure, the Roblox game with over 1.3 billion visits on the site, and it has to be the most popular Roblox games out there thanks to Jojo having a huge fan base and of course, their children on Roblox too. But before we can get into that, let's begin talking about the first time of me playing this game first. So at the first day of playing this game on Roblox, since I have finally returned to the platform after my long personal absence from it, and when I came back into it, I began replaying one of my golden ones that I like to enjoy, like Jailbreak for example. But the cringy roleplay games that I used to throw a lot on before sadly died up over the long years when I was inactive from Roblox. I couldn't clearly remember all of my other friends that I had added on the platform from years ago. Upon joining this beautiful game and hearing about its toxic player base of some sorts, I decided to jump in instead and was greeted near a parking lot with a gang of police officers next to me with Jorino who has a suitcase on, and he wants me to beat up those guards so that he can pass them. I wonder if the devs ripped in this part off the Jojo manga or some shit, because it's a Jojo fan game after all and it's loosely based off that. After completing the quest, as what I can remember, then they tell you to find a guy who asks you about a suitcase. Then after that, you begin to face off a gang member with a shovel as a weapon named Leaking Eye Luke. First, you need to have a stand or a weapon plus fighting skills to easily take down this guy, and it's not an easy cast without the ones I recommend you to have. After that, you need to defeat Bruno Bucciarati, who is a much harder boss than the previous ones I talked about, and you need to level up for it, plus add some more skill points to your status. After you've defeated him, next you join in a gang named Passion, which is exactly one of the gangs in the Jojo series. First off, you need to bring a lighter to Jorino, and after that, you need to meet up with one of the gang members too, who are in the game, Panakota Fugo, Judo Mista, and I really have a hard time pronouncing their names, Naransian Jirga, and Leonabachio, while the other ones I researched aren't there in the story quest nor possibly not in the game. Next, you need to hand out a fake $5,000 to Trish where you don't lose your money nor you pay her. Then she tells you to defeat Fugo and where it begins because a gang is currently hunting her down and the other Passion gang members down too. Trisha explains that they are assassins coming after her and she wants you to go to Mista, and Mista calls you to fight Pesky where he uses a fishing rod called the Beach Boy, where it drags opponents into the close range for a better melee attack. The next harder boss is Giachayo, where he is an ice-based user and his ice grounding techniques I call them can easily cause a stand to crash down, but luckily for me, I was able to beat him using the powers of a fighting skill, either boxing or the sword style. The final boss of the story is much harder than any other bosses in the game and it's Diavolo, who was the main antagonist of the Part 5 series of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, where you need to rely on skill power to try to take him down, such as blocking his attacks like the stand barrage punches and having a maxed out fighting skill or character tree with the points on. And that's pretty much the story so far, and I believe this is based off Part 5. They should have added a new chapter to the story, to be honest, instead of just having side quests and thrashing other players along with the max level of 50 and the prestige of 3. They should have extended it even more, as the story is very short, and that's literally your Bizarre Adventure storyline in a nutshell. Now onto the main parts of the game that I usually do. I do side quests like beating up Dio, Brando, and Jutaro just to level up more, and prestige because they give me more XP to level up and even skill points too to grow stronger. That's usually the goal of the game for me after I finish the story campaign. Basically, all your Bizarre Adventure players just wanted to get stronger than each other and be more competitive in PvP. Those are also the reasons why the Your Bizarre Adventure player base and community is very toxic. Like, some dude called me a no skill player just because I have a sword style equipped as my fighting skill. Like, come on bro, I've beaten an Aizen guy who wielded the powers of boxing. And the other thing then we come back to talk about its toxic player base. Let's talk about his horse running game mode, the Steel Ball Run. So I recently got into this game mode after presaging to the maximum potential and to get Tusk Act 4 to evolve my Act 1 version of the stand that I've obtained because I wanted to become more powerful. And currently I have the hand stand for now, which is not bad as my point of view, and it's mostly known for its erasure attacks which deal more damage than its close range, so it's not really useful for longer range attacks. And for the Steel Ball Running game mode, it's a really hard one since you need to wait for your horse to cool down and regain stamina again in order to run again, and it's so much fucking players going out in a brawl to kill each other and knock you out of the race just like it's Fall Guys. Horse feeding is one thing. You need to upgrade your horse to become much faster in resistance to temperatures and more stamina to keep on going with the race. And the most valuable parts to win this race, like the redeemed corpse parts to evolve your Tusk stand, is where you either need to get first place in casual or in any places in competitive, where you need to be like over 2 presages to get there, and it says it recommends you to do. And for the other mode that I haven't been to nor mentioned before is called the Colosseum. And I haven't gone there because my current stand for now, the hand, isn't really useful for PvP, in which the battle arena is all about, and I prefer to enter the ring once I get Tusked at 4. And that's currently what am I doing right now, and I'm trying to get past all the mayhem the entire player base is causing. And speaking of their toxic player base, remember that I mentioned that dude called me no skilled for having a sword style on, which proves how friendly the player base actually is. And like what I've said before, your Bizarre Adventure is mostly competitive in PvP, which explains one of the reasons for this place to be toxic, and others to be stronger just to beat up others just to satisfy their ego, and that's currently your Bizarre Adventure at the latest point in a nutshell. I wish the devs should have expanded the main parts of the game even more instead of just being stick to one. So let me just say, don't always just randomly bump into them because you don't know what's coming for you from them. This place has now turned into gang beating up simulator now. And if you try searching up your Bizarre Adventure, there's going to be a high chance for videos about bashing other players for fun, other than reviewing powerful stands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Make sure you smash that like button, punch the subscribe button with the notification bells turned on, follow me on Twitter and join my Discord server. And see you guys on the next Thriller episode. Ciao!